Welcome back to the Outer Worlds. We have delivered the bounties and so cleaned up at least somewhat our inventory. And I thought we'd head up here to the botanical lab and deliver the quest for convincing Zoe to go back home. I should probably set that as the active quest so I know who I need to talk to. Hi there.
What is it?
I talked Zoe into coming back.
We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
Something about wanting to be an outlaw. I'd rather not get into it. Nah, she joined up with a band of marauders. They hadn't hurt her.
Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
I'll leave you be. Okay, so since this seems to be a faction, I'm guessing there is the potential of getting quests here. We should at least wander around and have a look and chat with the residents. Not much of interest here though. Just want to check the reputation. So the deserters are now agreeable. Some mock apples. We don't need more light ammo, so I'm fine. I guess we need to find someone who is named if we want to find quests, though. What's up here? A door. We can hack. Let me save the game. Uh-huh. Thank you. Heavy ammo, yeah, that's something that we dearly need more of. Okay. Off we go. You're going over there. That suits me fine. I'll steal this meanwhile. Hunting rifle. Close the door just in case you come back. This is a very quaint kitchen. Save the game. Can we steal this? Yep, we can. You're going out. Oh, what a shame. And I'm going in here. Lots of stuff. Thank you. And well, you know, we're not stealing, we're just appropriating items for the greater benefit of the people. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. A chicken. We can't talk to it. I'm sad now.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
Yeah, sure she says that.
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Can I buy ammo of you? No, it's still restricted. It's annoying. I'm surprised there aren't any quests here.
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Uh-huh. Examine. Zoe's journal, page 12. So that's it then. No more Edgewater for me, no more cannery, no more jumpsuits and gloves. Yes, ma'ams, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, because I've always hated the cannery, and I don't think I'll ever have to look back to this journal many years hence and tell myself, oh wow, I did hate the whale once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Well, okay, I got sick and I grabbed a little too much adrenaline. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriate one box of adrenaline and suddenly you're committing larceny. Yeah, the world is harsh. And this is page 22. Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today is the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires. Probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me. Living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of sal tuna. Should last me a couple of weeks if I ration. Got some adrenatime too. Everybody loves adrenatime. Even marauders, right? I got odds those marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple of syringes of adrenatime before their eyes. This is gonna be great! Look out, Terra 2! Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I'm gonna have a whole gang of marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. Kind of guessing that this is how we were supposed to find out what she was doing if we didn't talk to Stefan. What's this place then? How about you go outside again? Yeah, that's a good idea. And I'll appropriate some items here. This door probably leads outside. Oh, it doesn't. It's a lot of stuff. Save the game, just to sure. This looks like some kind of laboratory for the greenhouse. This, particularly since it's heavy ammo. Here's a computer terminal. Personal files. Back. Open first entry. May the Eternal bless my first endeavor. It's been 2 days since I walked away from life at the Edgewater cannery. Fortuitously, the old botanical labs are still operational. Mostly. The soil's sour. I'll do what I can, but I'm going to need some powerful fertilizer. Tired of having the taste of saltuna lingering on my tongue day in, day out. I want something fresh, something that grows out of the earth. Open the last entry. We found another worker from Edgewater. Ex-worker now. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Reed's style of management has always been tyrannical. I imagine an exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow breathing, delirious. Must have been plagued. I set him right with the diet of greens. He was all better in a couple of weeks. Physically, spiritually, he's one of our flock now. Turn to root. Experimental notes. Open first entry. I am hereby repurposing this botanical lab from its original conception as a gear in the soulless automaton of the corporate machine. This greenhouse may look impressive, but like all Spacer's Choice products, it is cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own 2 hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understand the horticulturalists failed to produce a single viable crop. Something about the soil being too poor. I am determined to find a way. May the Eternal smile upon my endeavours. And open the last entry. Flora are living things as sensitive to their environment as any breathing, thinking body. I contend that the crops in this region fail because the corporate scientists tending to them are cold, heartless, inhumane people acting on behalf of a sterile and inhumane power. One cannot expect your crops to flush with green and reach for the sky under these conditions. The soil is sour, it is true. I don't know quite how to explain that. I'm sure the scienticians will say something about biology or the carbon cycle. But I can conclude after months of my own experimentation that the secret to a rich and wholesome garden is love, attention, compassion, and a natural fertilizer bursting with organic materials, just as nature intended. Wonder what that fertilizer is. Some questions might be best left unasked, though. Can I steal these?
I'm listening.
She doesn't have any more for us. Standing with her back towards us. That's an interesting statue. Okay, so I think we've been through most of this settlement. That leaves the main quest, I think. I guess it's time to go see that Mr. Thompson. Probably up there. Let's just go through the inventory. We can go into the shop first. Let's see here. Anything with a low sell value we can probably break down, like the revolver. Hunting rifle. Tossball stick. And armor. I'm gonna keep that, I think. 14 armor, that's rather nice. With science too. Can break down that. I seem to recall that there is... I mean, one of these skills... Unlock the second drug mixing slot for the... for the inhaler, right. That's what I opened, so I got the... Does that mean that if I put this in here, I'll get more base health? In which case, that's interesting. Let's put in the fast ration pills. So at the moment we have 3 of them. If I now do an inhale... Indeed. That's useful.
Spacer's Choice, the brand of choice for spacers on a budget.
Yeah, that's
Music
nice.
to my ears.
First of all, you don't have any heavy ammo in stock. That's rather annoying. Let's sell the tactical shotgun. Don't think we need the plasma rifle either. We'll stick the rest. These will keep. Now, I don't need these things. Definitely don't want that. Keep the stuff that gives us health regeneration. And that one's also useful. Don't think we need the fish sticks. Nor do I think we need the terrified spratwurst. Don't need the dehydrated water tablets either. And we can probably also sell this. Yep. Okay. These will hang on to for the time being. We can sell that one. Okay. There we go. Now let's go see the general manager or whatever. Ah, there's an elevator here. Oh my god.
Miss Holcomb, I need to explain this big lesson. The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Right. I'll wait until you're finished.
You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
Are you Reed? I was told I should talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
Mm-hmm. I don't work for Spacer's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Let me guess. You want me to do something for you before you'll help me?
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
I know the place with the greenhouse, right?
That's right, you've been there. Good. That gives me hope. I have nothing against Adelaide and her followers, you see. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Why?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
I've seen Edgewater. I don't blame those workers for walking out.
Neither do I. The fault was entirely mine. I pushed them too hard. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
I can't make any promises.
Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith, for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented, and may prove useful to you.
Sure, I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Let's get going. You've gained a companion. They are characters that join you in your adventures and help in a variety of ways. Provide combat support, their skills enhance your skills, they increase your carrying capacity, and you can unlock special companion combat abilities with the inspiration skill. Companion perks. Okay.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we...
That is a good idea. This companion ledger shows you everything that you need to know about your companions. You can see their skills, stats, status effects, and gear. To change your companion's gear, first select the item you want to swap out, then choose a compatible item to replace it with. You can also change how they behave in combat by selecting their preferred weapon, follow distance, and aggressiveness. Not bad. So she has a perk available. Her skills are Persuade, Lockpick, and Engineering. And she can Overload, which seems useful. So then, let's have a look at the perks. More health, more threat generated, or less threat generated, or more engineering. Let's give her more engineering. Apply that. And I'm happy with that.
Talk.
Requires Reed's key to unlock. Yep.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. You got a minute? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Figures. Reed didn't exactly strike me as the most honest soul.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
I can't blame anybody for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
I met the vicar. He asked me to find a book for him.
books are for rich folk. I wonder what he wants with something like that.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop
Thanks,
by.
mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
It's a good way of thinking. So...
I'm going.
Ah, that's interesting.
On my way.
Okay, so let's go in and talk to the vicar.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
You coming, Slowpoke?
I'll meet you on the ship when you're ready to depart from Emerald Vale, Captain.
Parvati wanted to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
Nope.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off the power to Adelaide's deserter.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
So what do you advise?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Is that even possible?
Not if things are left to stand as they are.
Right, well, so how do we do that then?
Yeah, huh? You mean about the mission being too clean?
Isn't it supposed to be clean? It's a church.
I know, but Vicar says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicar sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
It's an ideal, not what we live in, but what we strive for.
It just comes off cold to me, is all.
Let's get back to it. Okay, so we actually have to talk to the people out there then. Oh, this strikes me as a bad idea. If it were up to me, I would actually cut off power to the Edgewater city itself. Then again, we might just get that option.
Oh, God. I'm listening.
Reed sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I needed to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip 'em out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
hero to you, maybe.
A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits.
Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
What have you got against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
You made your point clear enough. I'll see what I can do.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Yeah, I'm not very tempted to be evil against these people. So, yeah. This is a rough one. Anyways, we can probably just fast travel to the Emerald Vale Community Center. This is one of the things that I like about Obsidian games too. The choices in general are pretty... well, Cataclysmical probably is going a bit too far, but they certainly are... true. Effectful, as in they do have severe consequences. That's rather substantial in terms of loot. Then again, this was a named K-Knight. Oh, we took out our first boss. Isn't that lovely? However, I suspect that this cannery geothermal energy plant is quite the eventful little thing. And we are running out of time in terms of the episode length, so I think that we'll have to end the episode here, and we'll take out the geothermal plant in the next episode. So, on that note, thank you all so very much for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.